with Jeffrey Epstein getting a little too close for comfort? Well, let's find out more about that. What? This is crazy. If so, I called this a long time ago. Because, you know, if you're a businessman, Donald Trump, and, you know, Jeffrey Epstein, he's got connections around the world. You want a model girlfriend after your last wife? Come on now. You're just going to go find you one, right? Well. Maybe Melania wasn't willing to give it up to a lot of people, so she was a prime candidate to be with somebody like Donald Trump. But I guess we'll find out, right? This is weird. Check it out.
Feel like the same
Valhalla
vibe.
VFT.
But I want to say one thing to the American people.
I never had a relationship with Epstein.
I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never.
These images and stories are completely false.
And I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank
Exact same cadence on both of their parts. Because I'm not lying. I'm just telling you the truth about transgressions that I did not partake in. Sounds like a liar to me. Uh-oh. Check it.
Welcome back to the
Pretty
channel,
intense
everybody.
intro.
Now, yesterday we covered that absolutely bizarre press conference where Melania Trump decided to come out seemingly for no reason and let everybody know that she never knew Jeffrey Epstein or Maxwell. Right, yeah. Obviously, nobody believes that. We've all seen the dozens of photos of them together. We all know the connections there, but we didn't know how deep the connections really go between her and Big E. And a lot of people were wondering, like, what exactly was this? Does she just hate her husband so much that she wanted to drudge this back up? Is this all just a big psyop distraction from the failure of the Iran war? Well, no, it turns out that this is all because of this story, which is 10 times crazier than anything we could have possibly thought.
Melania, who your friend?
Melania Trump's best friend, Amanda Ungaro, who's been friends with Melania for over 20 years, going all the way back to the time with Big E hanging around, and she's now vowed to literally expose Melania and Donald Trump for everything regarding their relationships with
Spill the tea, bro. Spill the tea.
Why she's doing it might be the most insane part of the whole story. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel.
Do it.
Patreon,
for me and him.
All right, let's jump into this thing. Man, this story, again, nobody knew what the hell Melania was doing. Why would she do this? Finally, the Epstein conversation.
Chat, before we get into it, what do you think? You think there's evidence? You think Melania's a mail-order bride? Like, come on now. Is that how she got into America? She's working with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine. Ghislaine's family's so weird. Isn't that weird that her dad wrote all of our textbooks? What? Strange. Anyways, this world is creepy.
Conversation had been buried by the big distraction of the Iran war, and she comes out of nowhere while also not telling her husband that she's going to do it, mind you. Yes, Donald Trump furious about this.
Oh my God! Of course
she
he
just
is.
randomly brings up the fact that she never had a relationship with Big E or Maxwell, and that she is calling for the victims to be able to testify publicly. And again, everybody was going, "Why would you do this?" Well, again, now we.
It's like something crazy happened right in front of you. Like, everyone's just like, oh my God, everyone's in shock. And then someone just randomly like shows up and says, well, I didn't do it. You're like, what the fuck? We haven't even got to that point yet. What are you doing? You sure you didn't do it? Whoever smelt it, doubts it.
No. All right, let's start at the beginning. Now, this is Amanda Ungaro, one of Melania Trump's best friends for over 20 years. She met Melania when she was 18 years old, and this is what she just said on Twitter.
Just being frank,
2 days
she's a looker.
ago. Now, Amanda had this to say to Melania and Trump, and keep in mind, this was a day before Melania decided to do that unprompted press conference. She says, we'll take legal action against you and your pedophile husband. Whoa, uh-oh. I've known you for 20 years. You knew I was detained in ICE. Yeah, we're going to get to that story here in a second. You were present in my life every year on my son's birthday, even sending Secret Service and being the first to congratulate him back in 2016. Something was clearly wrong, but I am not part of any evil mission involving children. So what did you do, Melania? You tried to involve me, but you failed because I have character. Do you know what I think about you after 20 years?
She's burning the
and
house
then she
down,
says,
bro.
again, all of these are replying directly to Melania Trump's account. I have nothing left to lose in my life. I will tear down the entire system. Be careful with me, bitch. I will tear down your corrupt system, even if it's the last thing I have to do in my life. I will go all the way. I'm not afraid. Maybe you should be afraid of what I know of who you are and who your husband is. Uh-oh. Okay, so Melania Trump's best friend of over 20 years vowing to burn everything down and expose her pedophile husband. What happened here? Well, this is how this all transpired. So this is Amanda's ex-husband, who just happens to be one of Donald Trump's best friends, going all the way back to running Donald Trump's creepy little teenage beauty pageants with him, which is now looking to be just one big human trafficking operation from what we're seeing. And what he did was he had Donald Trump deport Amanda Ungaro.
Or that's how you like at least get to that point where you like import a lot of girls from like poorer countries through the pageant system, and then like sell them off to the highest bidder essentially. Not necessarily like the human trafficking that you think of like right off the rip when you think about it. It's like high-end clients with like potentially, women that are like somewhat like coerced into believing that it's a good thing. That's really creepy.
Their son back to Brazil. Yes, Zampoli got his buddy Trump to literally use. When
I was in Amsterdam, I met this chick. She was a prostitute, and or at least a former one, from Mexico. And, long story. I'm not going to give you too many of the details of why she was there. But, we're sitting there drinking wine, and she's telling me that she used to hang out with the CEO, the owner of MTV, fly around in a helicopter that he was flying. And he's like, I should crash this helicopter into the ground right now. And they're like over like Hudson Bay. She's like, what the fuck? Like trying to calm this dude down. Like, these guys are pervs, and there's definitely a ring of like prostitution, human trafficking, green cards, and stuff like that. It's like a super high-end clientele. It doesn't end at Epstein. There's so many of these operators around the world.
Use ICE to deport his ex-wife so that he could then kidnap her child from Brazil, and is actively refusing to return the child. So obviously that she's been deported and had her child kidnapped from her, she doesn't give a shit, and she's willing to tell all and burn the entire thing down. So, getting spicy. Now, this is a really good video, really explaining this whole thing and how it all transpired.
So yesterday, the First Lady gave a desperate live statement from the White House Grand Foyer. She was visibly shaking as she denied her links to Jeffrey Epstein. Why out of the blue? Because Amanda Ungaro spent 20 years in Melania's inner circle. A woman who was even a UN ambassador is currently threatening to torch the entire administration from an iPhone in Brazil. Amanda Ungaro was there for it all. The Mar-a-Lago New Year's parties, the inauguration, the private UN galas. She was the partner of Paolo Zampoli, the man who literally introduced Donald Trump to Melania. They met when she was just a teenager and he was 32. But when the relationship went south after 2 decades, Zampoli didn't just call a lawyer for custody. He weaponized the full force of the federal government against the woman he called his wife for 19 years. To win a custody battle over their American-born teenage son, Giovanni Zampoli. Paolo allegedly coordinated a hit with a high-ranking ICE official named David Venturella and his fellow Kennedy Center board member, Pam Bondi. The result, Amanda was arrested in Miami on a manufactured charge involving a single photo of her hand resting on a laser machine. She was held in ICE detention for 3 months, then deported to Brazil without trial. He kept his seat on the board next to Pam Bondi. He kept his title as presidential special envoy. But then he went too far. A Brazilian court ordered the child returned to his mother, and in total defiance of international law and a direct court order, Paolo Zampoli reportedly snatched the boy from Brazil and fled the country. Amanda has now filed a formal kidnapping complaint. She has nothing left to lose.
So now
she's got nothing left to gain. They're not going to side with her. That's what I was learning from that girl in Amsterdam. I forget her name, and I'm sorry. I wish I knew her name. It's just so many years later. The guy that she had a baby with was from the Netherlands, and he kidnapped her son and took him back there. And the Netherlands, their government's not going to let a little kid, be taken out of the Netherlands back to Mexico because of the advantages that the Netherlands offers for children as far as schooling and opportunity in the first world. The same thing's going to happen with this child. And being born in America, first of all, like, that's huge. But then, like, also being in America is like, what? Possession is 9/10 of the law. Well, this is also the same situation. The kid's in America now. America's not going to let this kid go grow up in Brazil, no matter how nice of a life this kid's going to have in Brazil. It's just not going to happen. The United States, the court system's just going to shut her down, no matter what, kidnapping or not. International courts aren't going to stand up against the United States. Look what the United States is doing around the world. They're basically telling everyone, we don't care what you say. We're going to ruin your economies. We're going to make you run out of gas. Like, it doesn't matter to us. Just buy more from us. Like, I'm sorry if you've fallen trapped to the left or the right as far as political system is concerned. These people all operate under the same umbrella, and what they care about is big business, who lobbies them, mining, oil, drugs, whether it be pharmaceutical or otherwise. These people are the destroyers, of religions, of governments, of communities, of cultures that just go around and, yeah, it's just disgusting. They play their own game, but they write the rules. It's sickening.
Now we're starting to make a little bit more sense for why this bizarre press conference from Melania panicked came out of nowhere. And when we actually look at the timeline here, it's going to start to make a whole lot more sense that Melania, yeah, definitely knew Big E a lot better than she's claiming. All right, real quick, guys, we've got to talk about our partners over at Barbell Apparel. You already know the maker of the world's most comfortable
tank tops,
pair of jeans, but also the best athletic clothing out there. And, guys, I have my own VFT line of workout clothes over at Barbell Apparel. You'll see I'm rocking them right now. Some of the most comfortable
athletic clothes, though, guys, watch that polyester. That's just a byproduct of, chemical manufacturing and refining and all that. Stay away from that nonsense. For thousands and millions of years, we've been wearing stuff or surrounding ourselves with stuff that is natural. That is not natural. That stuff will soak into your skin. It's proven. Stay away from it. Athletic apparel is where they push that stuff. And it's expensive for some reason when it costs nothing to make. It's basically trash to
gym
them.
Clothes you're ever going to wear. And now you can support the channel by getting some
them.
VFT line Barbell Apparel. Now, let's check it out. Oh, and also, anniversary sale going on right now. 20% off of literally everything in the store. Best time to buy. As you can see here, here's the new VFT workout line. We got the tank tops in white and black. And then
join Planet Fitness for $1 down.
Yeah, I'm going to turn this down because you guys don't need to listen to that. Sorry, I'm not giving YouTube any more money. I'm not paying for that. That's just ridiculous. How many subscriptions do we need in life? Skip.
And then we got the workout shorts, guys. These are my favorite workout shorts I've ever
worn. What are the
worn.
materials
and as you can see,
of
here's the fit. And we also have the Ranger shorts, more of a little heavy-duty workout shorts for things like outdoor running and stuff like that. So again, great time to buy 20% off everything in the store and have that brand new VFT line of workout apparel.
It's not just your diet you have to worry about. You got to worry about the things that you touch your skin on.
Back to the video. All right, so here's the full Trump Melania Epstein timeline. Okay, so we're checking for plausibilities for 2 Epstein claims, which Epstein himself said that he had slept with Melania a year before Trump did, and that Jeffery Epstein also said the first time Melania and Trump were together was on Big E's Lolita Express.
I totally believe it.
1987, Trump and Epstein meet. They are definitely best friends by 1992. 1989.
Yeah, I gotta look at it this way. Like, if you're a really wealthy man, like, to an extent, do you blame Donald Trump reaching out to a friend and trying to find, like, a chick that's just going to be loyal and stick with him? Like, maybe, like, I don't know. Like, there's not, like, when you gain money and you gain a lot of power, there's fewer and fewer people you can trust, especially when it comes to relationships. You got to be really careful. I don't know. Like, to an extent, just playing the devil's advocate. Like, would you not ask a friend, be like, hey, you got someone sweet that I can build a family with now? I just got divorced,
Robert Maxwell's
yacht,
yes. Ghislaine's dad. 1990, Epstein visits Maxwell in London. 1991, Maxwell moves to New York and becomes linked to Big E. 1992, Maxwell is formally working for Big E. 93, Trump is on Epstein's flight logs for the first time. In June, he gets approved to turn Mar-a-Lago into a club. He is nearly bankrupt. Trump proposes to Marla Maples in December and marries her within weeks. Epstein attends the wedding, by the way. 94, Epstein brings 14-year-old Jane Doe to Mar-a-Lago, her story, to meet Trump. All right, then here's where it all ties the story together. 1994, Paolo Zampoli funds ID models and meets Slovenian model Melania in Milan for a casting call. His story. 96. Melania now enters the U.S. and works possibly illegally with Paolo Zampoli as her agent. Zampoli says he got her an H-1B visa, or more likely that she was trafficked here by him, from the sounds of it. All right, and then 1998, Zampoli throws
Just
Melania.
like I've heard, like from these chicks, like, sometimes they just agree with it. They don't know what they're doing at the time. They don't realize how dark it is yet. They're just like, oh yeah, I gotta go to America. Oh, he's gonna get me a visa. They don't realize they're being trafficked and sold off to the highest bidder yet.
A strange, lavish press conference in Paris with Slovenian media flown in. Zampoli then says days later introduces her to Trump. But let's remember, Zampoli is Ungaro's husband. And why is that so important? Well, because it's sounding like, and again, we don't know for sure, but the guy who trafficked Melania to Donald Trump is married, or was married, to Amanda Ungaro. So you can see how deeply tied she is to this entire thing with Trump, Dean, her husband, etc. Now, another big problem for Trump and Melania is that Melania's claims that she didn't have any relationship with either Big E or Maxwell have been completely debunked, unfortunately, by emails from Melania directly to Maxwell in 2002.
She appeared to reference an email as well, an email that has been published, that is part of the Epstein files that have been released over a period of time. It's an email, I believe, from October 2002, an email that she is alleged to have written to Ghislaine Maxwell, the partner of Jeffrey Epstein.
And what did that email say?
These
Dear
people,
G,
man.
how are you? Nice story about J.E. and New York Mag. You look great on the picture. I know you are very busy flying all around the world. How was Palm Beach? I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you're back in New York. Have a great time. Love.
You know, I came up with this idea just like off the top of my head. Maybe I was just channeling the source. God was whispering to me. Angels were talking to me, whatever it might be, right? I was joking halfway, you know, hoping that it wasn't true. This is all coming to light. And this is like, dang, man. Like, how many of those random thoughts that you think, like, this might be going on, like, are actually going on? 100 monkey experiment, right?
Melania. Now, that doesn't sound like an email between two people who don't know each other. That seems like an email between two people who are pretty good friends, doesn't it?
Right.
Now, Donald Trump was asked his thoughts about Melania's press conference, and here's what he said. So, President Trump revealed that he had absolutely no idea that Melania Trump was going to address the nation about Big E. Trump said he was in a meeting about the war and could not speak further. All he said was, she didn't know him. She never knew Big E, even though we've got dozens of pictures of them together. And, well, what it's sounding like is that she knew Big E really, really well for about a year.
Very intimately.
Before she met Trump, as in, maybe Trump got Big E's sloppy seconds.
No,
Well, we
don't
don't know
say
for
it,
sure yet, but I imagine with Amanda Ungaro coming out with a tell-all interview on this that
Bro, you've
we're
been sloppy
probably gonna
seconds
find
too,
out.
so, like,
So now this is all
don't use
starting
it
to
in a
make little
derogatory
bit
form,
more
right?
sense. What we may find out is that Melania was with Big E for a year before she was ever with Donald Trump. And man, that sure isn't the story that they've been told, but it kind of makes sense. Doesn't this kind of feel like the same vibe?
But I want to say one thing to the
He's
American
right.
people.
I never had a relationship with Epstein.
Let me
I
just
never
read
told
off of my
anybody to lie,
script.
not a single time. Never.
These images and stories
Never,
are
man.
completely false.
I'm not a bad
And I
guy.
need to go back to
I'm
work
just a
for the
gentle
American people.
southern man trying to lead this country the right way. I could never
So
do
yes,
something
what
like
a
that.
lot of people
I
thought
don't
was
even
the
like
case
getting
here
head.
is this does feel
Monica
like a
who?
get ahead of it
I thought her name
PR
was
stunt,
Monet.
right? Try to shift the narrative before, I don't know, someone like Amanda Ungaro, Melania Trump's best friend, comes out and tells all. Now, of course, MAGA is going to smear her as a liar, that she's out for money
Of
and all sorts of
course,
these different things. But the pictures are all here, and we can see for ourselves what was actually going on. Now, another thing to add to this, which I didn't realize, that Melania Trump is actually disliked almost as much as her own husband. Yes, Melania has made history as she just came in at the lowest approval rating for a first lady in U.S. history. As you can see here by CNN polls, and we know Donald Trump loves CNN polls the best. He says they're the most accurate polls. Remember when he said when he had 100% support of MAGA on that CNN poll? So keep in mind, CNN poll, Trump said it himself. Melania Trump's net favorability rating, lowest ever in percentage points. Back in May of 2018, it was plus 30. Now, minus 12. Oof. Ouch. Now, let's see what the internet has to say about all this, because we love the comment section. All right, here we go. Trump f***ed his war up so bad, he's trying to change
Comment section is gonna roast her. Oh God, chat. What do you guys think? Come on now. Dang. She just had that movie come out about her, painting her in such a perfect light with all the highest tech. You know.
Subject
sad.
back to Epstein. The First Lady gave a whole speech today on a topic her husband said is a hoax. We've all been there when your war is going so well that you tell your wife to get out there and remind everyone about the file sex trafficking thing. Nothing says guilty as hell like randomly holding a press conference that nobody was talking about and insisting that you're innocent.
These people will do anything
says,
for fame,
kids eat
money,
healthy and get exercise. Joe Biden
power.
says women and girls stay in school, get an education. Melania Trump says, I never had a relationship with child sex trafficker Jeffery Epstein. Media silence. Melania Trump. By the way, guys, we do not have any connections to Jeffrey Epstein, just in case you're wondering, haha, how crazy would that be? Haha. And remember, folks, these women have never met each other. Melania didn't defend me once at real Donald Trump in that statement. Only herself. Melania be like, do not look inside that trunk. There's definitely not a body in there. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And one of my favorites,
sounds
looks like
good.
Melania left a few things out of
Al
that Amazon.
Cappuccino.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah,
Somebody
right?
called this
Yikes.
way before anybody, and
What
in
up,
fact
new
was
viewer?
threatened to be sued
Announce
by the
yourself,
Trump
friend.
administration and Melania Trump for
Thank you for
$1
joining.
billion for making
And
these
they go.
exact claims. Do you guys remember who that was?
Ladies and gentlemen, the day of presidential litigation has arrived. It's lawsuit time.
Holy
In my
crap.
hand is a legal demand letter addressed to Mr. Hunter Biden from the First Lady of the United States, demanding a retraction of Channel 5's video called Hunter Biden Returns, in which Mr. Biden here makes some speculative comments about the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, Melania Trump, and Donald Trump.
Okay, well, they knew each other well. They spent an enormous time together.
You know, like Hunter might be one of those people that's like, you know, he's not perfect, right? But he's kind of a bro, just telling you what's up, because he's been witness to a lot of this stuff for his whole life. Yeah, he's older now, so it's just like, it's weird, but like, damn, man. He's just an unk sharing the truth.
According to his biographer, is that Jeffery Epstein introduced Melania. That's how Melania and the First Lady and the President met.
Yeah, so it sounds like maybe this wasn't such the secret everybody thought it was, right? If Hunter Biden was talking about this months ago, and it turns out that maybe Hunter has deserved some apologies. Who'd have thought? Wild times. Oh, by the way, if you didn't hear this, nothing to do with the current story, but just absolutely hilarious since we're talking about him. Yes, Hunter Biden has officially, what they should do is they should actually make this the main card at the UFC White House event. Let's get it done, boys. Now back to the Melania story. So yeah, to me, it is what it looks like.
Good
is
idea.
that yes, the people like our buddy JD DeLay who thought this was a get ahead of it PR move were the ones that are ultimately right. Was this a big distraction from the Iran war and all these types of things? Well, maybe, but it does seem like Melania is actually just seeing the writing on the wall and trying to distance herself as far as she can from her PDF husband.
Bullets.
And again, just when
Not
you
even
thought
fired
the
yet.
Big E files were buried forever, they come right back out to bite you. And Donald Trump just cannot buy a win, can he? Now, even his own wife has turned on him. So,
Wow, guys, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, Melania, what are you doing? Oh, jeez. Well, I guess she's a liar, and if she was trafficked and all that, like when you find out that that's what happened to you, you should be totally against it. And she wasn't. She bought in and decided to roll with it, and that's on her. Yeah, bro. This is a good one. This is crazy. Dang. Yeah. What in the world? These people. There's just something else. I don't understand it. But, yeah. That's just too funny. This world, man. This country. These evil people. We give the wrong people attention in this world. Anyways, on to the next one. Make sure you go out there to Valhalla VFT. Show him some love. Check out his other videos. They're great. But yeah, Melania Trump. She's sitting in hot water that she set to boil. So we'll see what happens next, right? Anyways, on to the next one. Check it. I'll see you there.
See what transpires with this